Hey guys, it's Chris. From fluffy sea otters to large humpback whales, here are 8 of the friendliest sea creatures in the world. Number 8. Jellyfish. At first glance, it would seem that the jellyfish species as a whole aren't something you'd want to even risk getting close to. Jellyfish are infamous for having the natural defense of stingers that can be used to ward off predators or other creatures that have gotten too close to them. So much so that other species of fish, well, they had to develop evolutionary countermeasures in order to deal with jellyfish in their areas. That being said, there are species of jellyfish that don't have stingers, and it's not like jellyfish are actively out to get you and sting you. I mean, you see them, they're just floating around minding their own business. Without the sting, they're simple and won't hurt you at all. There are places in the world where you can swim with hundreds of jellyfish without fear of getting hurt, and one of those places is called Jellyfish Lake, found in the Rock Islands of Palau. The lake is connected to the ocean through limestone tunnels that keep it filtered but protected. Somewhere along the evolutionary line, and scientists speculate that was probably about 12,000 years ago at most, the jellyfish naturally lost their stingers, thus making them completely harmless. People go there all the time now to swim with the jellyfish. You have to obtain a special pass, and the government is careful to protect the jellyfish so that they don't get hurt. Number 7. Sea otters. Sea otters are probably one of the cutest creatures on Earth. It's one of many aquatic animals that are endangered in the world because of us humans. It's a miracle there's actually any left at all. Sea otters were hunted to near extinction because of their thick furs, which were and still are very valuable. However, in the 20th century, massive conservation efforts were made to try and save the sea otters. And through further study, they were shown to be very friendly and sweet creatures that people can instantly connect with. They were brought into zoos and aquariums around the world. There are around 40 public zoos and aquariums that house sea otters now. And in 1979, for the first time, a group of sea otter babies were born and raised in the Seattle Aquarium. What alerted many humans to their friendly nature was that they're actually very playful and not very aggressive. The sea otter is pretty intelligent. They understand when someone's wanting to play with them, and they've made a sport of sort of catching a ball and playing with it before returning it to humans. They're also deemed very cute because of the relationship they share with their rafts, or groups of sea otters that they sleep with by resting on top of one another. It's adorable. 2 sea otters were caught on video holding hands, and the internet lost its mind. It quickly got tens of millions of views because, let's face it, who can resist? That is cute, especially when a wild animal wants to play catch with us. Number 6. Sea turtles. Turtles as a whole are viewed as a very friendly species, mainly because they're slow to move and they can make good pets. However, when it comes to the sea turtles, many people view them as even more laid-back creatures, and they're so calm that they'll let humans pet them and hold on to them while they take them for a swim. Now, how many wild animals do you know that'll let a stranger grab onto them? This is actually a common tourist attraction in many tropical locations. The sea turtle is so revered for its friendly nature that a group of them was put into the Pixar film Finding Nemo, as you probably know, and they were shown to have a laid-back surfer kind of Hakuna Matata mentality. Unfortunately, like many sea creatures, sea turtles are hunted for their shells and other internal organs. At the same time, others are working hard to try and protect them, not the least of which is because they actually play a big role in the ecosystem. Number 5. Manatees. Manatees have many different nicknames in the world, including sea cows and even mermaids, as it was believed that these sea creatures would catch seagrass on their heads and swim around near the surface of the ocean, giving the illusion to nearby sailors that a finned woman was swimming around. And that's maybe a mermaid, perhaps? Anyway, manatees are gentle giants that are well loved for their rather calm demeanor. It's because they're slow-moving and friendly. It's pretty easy to go up to one, pet it, and then swim with it for a while should you have the urge, which a manatee will happily let you do most of the time. And while it's true that many sea creatures can get violent when needed, manatees never seem to get that riled up. At best, you might scare them away, but the threat of violence is remarkably low, especially since even though they're omnivores, they prefer to eat seagrass and other small plants in the ocean depths, which is probably why they're endangered too. Many consider swimming with manatees a must-have experience, especially when scuba diving or snorkeling in areas where the creatures are around. Number 4. Manta Rays. Not to be confused with stingrays, manta rays are rather large aquatic creatures, and they've amazed humans for many years. Not the least of which is because of their size, which can get up to 20+ feet in length at their max, and also because of their shape and their rather indifferent nature when it comes to humans approaching them. So much so that the manta ray will sometimes take the initiative to go and engage with humans if they feel so inclined. They're pretty curious, and it just might surprise you. Unlike their stingray brethren, manta rays don't have a means of hurting people short of ramming into them, which is all the reason many people need to go and see them in the waters of the world. There are tourist destinations in the Bahamas, the Cayman Islands, Spain, the Fiji Islands, Thailand, Indonesia, Hawaii, Western Australia, and the Maldives, where you can go into the water and just watch the manta rays swim around and enjoy life. And just to be clear, many people go on these excursions just to see the manta rays in action. Now, that being said, there is one key difference between this friendly creature and others of the sea, mainly that you shouldn't touch them, because you actually might hurt their sensitive skin. Still, that doesn't stop people from engaging and swimming next to these unique creatures of the water. Number 3. Fish. While granted, this is a very broad topic, a vast majority of fish in the ocean's waters are pretty friendly to humans, not the least of which is because they're often so small they can't hurt us, and many of them are either wary or curious about what we're probably doing in the water anyway. Now, of course, there are sharks and creepy crawlies of the deep that will scare us, but for the most part, we can all hang out together. Divers often share their experiences with certain curious fish coming to check them out, and in many places you can even hand feed sharks yourself with a guide, so it's all about understanding behavior and being respectful towards animals. More than anything else, the oceans are full of fish of every shape, size, and color, and people have gone to great lengths to get up close and personal with them, especially those exotic fish. Places like the Great Barrier Reef and various other coral habitats are popular among tourists because they wish to see the more common fish in the world in their natural habitats. And while fish can be skittish in the face of a predator, they've also been known to understand when they're not being threatened, thus allowing humans to observe them more closely. Number 2. Whales. The relationship between humans and whales is somewhat complicated. While they've been nothing but friendly towards us, for centuries we've hunted them down for their oil, fat, meat, skin, and we're practically driving them to extinction. But even after all that, whales have been reportedly very kind to humans and almost seem understanding. There have been numerous reports of whales protecting snorkelers and scuba divers from sharks, and they've been known to go and swim with humans or show off for whale watching boats. They're one of the rare animals in the world that's known to show compassion to other species, and because of their friendly nature, it seems almost too hard to believe that they're still around. Whales actually even have a sense of humor too, and have been known to unleash their spray on humans as kind of a joke. Have you ever been on a whale watching tour or seen them in the wild? Let me know in the comments below. Number 1. Dolphins. You've no doubt heard the many stories about dolphins, about how they interact with humans, how they're able to do tricks with or without guidance, and arguably most interesting of all, how they're one of the few things on Earth that sharks are sometimes afraid of, besides orcas. But what makes them the friendliest sea creatures on the Earth is that they really are lifesavers. They've been able to discern that human beings were in danger, and then rush to their aid in order to save their lives. Tales of dolphin rescues include many stories of dolphins seeing sharks attacking humans or surrounding them, so they came in to protect them. Other times, dolphins have been documented finding humans who were adrift and then helping them get back to land. One of the reasons for this most impressive track record is that they are incredibly intelligent. They're also so good at retaining knowledge that they can be easily trained and then pass on that training to other dolphins via their own methods of communication. And that's why you'll see all sorts of dolphins at various aquariums all over the world. And unlike certain other sea creatures that prefer the open seas or oceans, dolphins honestly don't mind enclosed spaces, and they love to perform in front of their trainers and those in attendance at various events. Now, dolphins aren't perfect, and they have been known to be mean at times, as have most intelligent creatures, I guess. But for the most part, dolphins are revered as one of the kindest creatures in the seas. So much so that many cultures have developed fishing and hunting relationships with them, including the Polynesians, who loved and trusted the dolphins so much that they would swim with them on a regular basis. Thanks for watching. Which one did you think was the friendliest? Do you know of any other friendly sea creatures that should have been on the list? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to World List, and I'll see you next time.